Alright everyone, Cowboy Trades here, welcome back to the channel for another update on Bitcoin and Solana Daily. It's the 8th of February and today we've got some bullish news and some bullish charts to show you with a potential new trade setup incoming for Solana. So, you know how we do it, let's start off with the news, starting off with Solana. Now today at 6 PM UTC time, there is going to be a Solana ecosystem call, so if you want to take part in that, make sure you head over to their Twitter and check it out. There's always good alpha in there, and sometimes there's even airdrop opportunities, so whether you're just listening to it in the gym or whether you're just listening to it with a morning coffee, go check it out. Whales Market has listed a bunch of new tokens, including Wormhole. We touched on this yesterday. Jupiter has removed all of their dupe from the DLM mempool, but they are, however, leaving 63.5 million of USDC as a liquidity backstop for dupe to provide support at those lower levels. They will be removing the USDC over the next 2 to 3 months in smaller batches. Some bullish news coming from the Solana Foundation is that the Solana Foundation has just announced a partnership with AD Global Market, which is the Abu Dhabi global market. The purpose of this partnership is to expand the Solana ecosystem adoption and blockchain technology in the Middle East. The UAE and Abu Dhabi are big on being a global hub for innovation and blockchain technology, so the Solana Foundation and Abu Dhabi Global are going to work together to see their goals come true. So far, this is pretty much just a broad statement with not too much talking about how exactly they're going to go about tackling this partnership. However, as more details come, I will let you know. Moving on to the Bitcoin news, not too much to update, kind of quiet in terms of news since we had the spot ETFs. What I will update you on is the total net inflows/outflows. They are positive once again, sitting at 146 billion on the 7th of February. In terms of GBTC outflows, they saw about 80 million yesterday. Pretty much the same as the 6th of February, not too much to update, these are dropping to near zero. Fidelity's spot Bitcoin ETF saw 130 million worth of inflows yesterday, which is pretty much most of the reason why we saw a massive inflow in terms of the spot ETFs. So selling pressure is subsiding, buy pressure is coming in, there's a lot of hype, a lot of bullish news coming around these markets. So let's dive right into the charts and talk about how this is affecting it. So starting off with Bitcoin, over on the daily time frame, as you can see, just like we talked about yesterday, the 50 TMA signal is not something to play with. This is one of my favorite strategies. We had that daily candle body close above the 50 TMA, and as you can see, we've got beautiful continuation based on this strategy. This really came in clutch last second because, as we were discussing, we are currently still in a diamond top formation, so we need to see continuation right now. However, as discussed in yesterday's video, things are definitely starting to look to the upside. We talked about this in recent videos, the fact that the daily EMA ribbons were tightening, and the fact that we were getting squeezed underneath the 50 TMA. An explosive move like this was absolutely expected, and the explosive move is happening to the upside. If we're coming over to the stochastic RSI, while we are quite near the top, what I have noticed a lot of the time is if you do top out on the stochastic RSI, you reset round about 80, and then you have another push to the upside, you can really rally like exceptionally hard in the coming couple of days or weeks. I'll show you one example of this nearing the top of the 2021 bull run to show you what I mean in terms of, this double stochastic top. So, for example, over here, you can see the stochastic RSI topped out and it started to correct back down to the downside. It started to correct around about 40,000, and then as you can see, it corrected a little bit. The stochastic RSI pushed back up to the upside, and boom, next thing you know, we were at 58,000. This happened over here as well. We saw a top in the stochastic RSI, we saw a little bit of a correction, we quickly turned back up to the upside, and then boom, new all-time high. So this often happens in bull runs. You spend more time near the top of the stochastic RSI than the bottom. The reason I'm highlighting this is because I'm using this to kind of back up the reason why I think Bitcoin is going to be heading to my price target, which I will mention in a second. However, before then, I do just have to let you know where I have my eyes on and where I want to see Bitcoin get above. There's a few different price targets, 3 to be exact. The first one is the 618 Fibonacci. This is currently sat at exactly $45,083, and as you can see, 45,000 was the price target we rallied into today. We got just above this at 45.5, and we're coming just beneath 45,000. So this is clearly one important level that you want to keep your eyes on. The next one to the upside is this trend line, which, as you can see, if I zoom in on the 4-hour, we got stuck at today. So yes, in the next 24 to 48 hours, round about 45,500 is a level that you're going to want to get above if you do want to flip back above this trend line, and you're going to justify this as an SFP and have a beautiful explosive move back up to the upside. The final price target I would keep my eyes on is the previous resistance, the yearly high on the 11th of Jan at 49,100. I am personally of the opinion that Bitcoin's going to have no problem smashing through these price targets. Like I said, the 50 TMA is one of my favorite strategies. We were getting absolutely squished in this consolidation phase above the EMA ribbons, but below the 50 TMA. We were letting you know a big move is coming. The big move has happened. We had that 50 TMA close. Like I said, didn't necessarily want to, predict which was going to happen, but I said, let's react. Let's wait until we've got a confirmation on the 50 TMA. We had that confirmation yesterday with a close at 44.3, and as you can see, we're blasting to the upside right now. So, once again, the path to the upside is clear in my opinion. We are still in this diamond top formation though, so like I said, this is why I'm highlighting these price targets. I do think they're going to break, but you want to keep your eyes on them because we're not out of this dangerous diamond top formation until we smash this previous top up at 49,000. Moving on to the higher time frame picture, like I said, one of the reasons why I think we can get continuation is due to the fact that this pattern here with the double top in the stochastic RSI often means you can push up a lot higher than you initially expect. And if we're coming over to the weekly time frame, the stochastic RSI has fully reset. We've back tested the weekly EMA ribbons, and if we're clearing this up, you can see a very, very linear path where we were facing this resistance, resistance, resistance. This has flipped to support and we're pushing back up with a weekly stochastic RSI flip. So the price target, in my opinion, that we should be keeping our eyes on is up here at the CME gap, 53,500. Now, on this chart, this is just a line in the sand. If I come over to our actual CME futures, you can see this is the CME gap here, 53,500 approximately. On the weekly time frame as well, after we do get back above that previous topping formation at 49,000, the 618 Fibonacci is just underneath 49,000. So if we manage to clear that, technically from a fib perspective, the next fib is the 718 at 57,900, but personally, I've more so got my eyes on the CME gap. Moving on to Solana, we're seeing a similar picture. Just like I talked about with the double top in the stochastic RSI, often when this happens, it means you've got a lot more room to move to the upside, and I'll be talking about another perspective on that in just 1 second. I do just want to once again reiterate, we have had a daily candle body close above the 50 TMA. That is a long confirmation. We've broken out of the bullish flag. We've back tested it. We're moving to the upside. So similarly for Solana, you'd really want to see that move above the 618 fib at $108.05. I have no reason to believe that we won't be able to do this, but I'm just letting you know that's probably the level that we're going to have a little bit of trouble with in the immediate short term. Now let's talk about a future trade setup and another way that we can look at this bullish breakout from this bull pennant. Now, if we're coming over to the 1 hour time frame for Solana, you can see since around about $106 on the 30th of January, we have been in a slight downtrend. This is the downtrend that formed after we broke out of this major descending bull flag. Now here's something that's interesting. These are the microwaves. In the macro, you can see, if we zoom out just a little bit on the daily, we had an explosive rally, and then this confirmation retest from 126 all the way down to $80 for Solana, this was a correctory wave. In fact, this looks exactly like an A, B, C correction. So could we be starting a new wave count? Let's find out. Well, as you can see, since this bottom down here at $80, so once again, remember, we're on the 1 hour time frame now. This is the low that was established at $80, which we just highlighted on this chart here on the daily time frame. Now, if we're coming back over to here, what you can see is since we've found that bottom at $80, you can see we've had a 1 wave, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could potentially be a bullish impulse wave 1 out of 5. Because if we are going to have a 5 wave to the upside in the macro time frame, we're now looking at the micro waves and saying, hey, when can we expect Solana to enter that next major rally? Well, let's check it out. In this minor correction that we've had since we broke out of the bull flag, you can see we've had an A, B, C. It's a little bit harder to see on this chart. On different exchanges, it's a little bit different, but on all of the exchanges, this C wave is lower than this A wave. So this is a clear ABC regardless. Now you can see since then, we've had a 1, 2. It looks like since we came up today at 105, this could potentially be the top of wave 3 for the next 24 hours or so. We might just be correcting into wave 4, and then we could be getting ready for a nice move back up to the upside for wave 5. Now, I would really want to see wave 5 exceed this previous top over here at $106.41. Otherwise, it's going to be invalidated. So you really want to see that move up to 106.41. And like I said, if we come over to the daily, we've actually got a little bit of resistance on the 618 at $108. So potentially we could actually not manage to crack $108 for the first time. So let's say we come up to this level here, wave 5, this in the higher time frames is the 618. Let's say we don't manage to crack it the first time, it wouldn't be the end of the world. This is just a hypothesis structure. We've got to wait for wave 5 to top out. We haven't even really seen the wave 4 correction, so I can't, give you specific levels and where we're going to bounce from, but we're going to wait for that wave 5 to top out. Of course, there is the chance that we could have a crazy wave 5 and we exceed $108, but let's just say, hypothetically, we see a correction around about this level, and then we come over to the ABCs. We'd be looking for some type of ABC structure. Of course, we've got to see where wave 5 tops out. And then when wave 5 tops out, we could say, hey, look at these levels. Maybe this is going to be the bottom. Let's wait for wave A to happen. Let's wait for wave B to happen. And then if we come down on wave C and we start seeing, maybe something like this, where we're retesting these previous levels and we might be looking very nice on a few different signals. Maybe it's a TMA, EMA, Bollinger Band strategy. We'll let you know closer to the time, but this might let us know when the next wave 5 cycle is going to be ready to go to the upside, because once again, we're talking a little bit in the future here. We haven't even seen the top of wave 2. The main takeaway from this is you want to see wave 2 get above $106.48 within the next few days or so. If that does happen, and then we finally see our correctory wave, if we zoom out a little bit, we might be starting, because wave 3s can often be very euphoric. We might be seeing something crazy for Solana, taking us to much higher price targets. And in all, my wave 5 price target, if this structure does manage to persist, is actually going to be all the way up here from the swing high down to the swing low, the 618 fib at $165. So once again, these are hypotheticals. We have to wait for this potential wave 2 to top out, and then as it does, I'll keep you up to date with, maybe where we'll be bottoming on that next ABC correction before we have that next wave 3 to the upside. Anyway, my friends, that's pretty much all I've got. I'll let you know once I see a trade setup develop, but we've got some bullish news coming out for Bitcoin and Solana. Tons of bullish developments happening every single day on the Solana ecosystem. Both of these are looking very, very nice. So I'll keep you up to date. I'll see you in the next episode of Bitcoin and Solana Daily. If you enjoy, as always, smash the like button, leave a comment, share the videos with your friends. It's been your boy Cowboy Trades. I'm out. Peace.